oil. I'm about the oil. I'm about to start looking for the letters in there. Yeah, probably so sometimes y'all get it wrong. New. It's that new word. We had problems with that one too. New. Zebra, new up. I'm trying to make one. Do the up. Do the third one. Don't do and Ploy. I had that one before. Ploy.
What your grade is? What your grade is?
All right, go get your work if you're done. Roll. You go. Good.
Let me get my bag.
Plateau. You go. But see, if y'all don't know how to pronounce them words, this is hard. This is hard. Dear flow. I say the O. The love. Making a word too. And then it's proud. Loud, forward. Come, bust. Combustion. Three. Con. Oh, that's count. Out. Go ahead, out. So. Die, roar. Yeah, I can do that one. Out. Okay, all right, go get my words. All right, come on, let's go. All right, Tom, let's review. You could have been studying and checking your notes. That's what I should do. I expect you guys to use your time wisely. Especially when you see me helping people, you know what you're supposed to be doing. I need people learning and growing. Yes. Well, if you sent it to me, I have it. I haven't put any grades in right now, huh? If you send it to me, go back to your blackboard and see if it's on there.
She didn't send it.
I haven't put any grades in, so y'all, that's why you don't know for sure if I got it. So if you don't think I got it, if it doesn't show up on the blackboard, then you gotta just send it to me by email. Anything she think I didn't get, you're supposed to send it on the blackboard. If you send it on the blackboard, it's gonna show you that you sent it to me. Then that means I got it.
What page we got to?
I'm gonna tell you in a minute before we let you know. I think I got it. You still don't have it in there? The bottom hole, they got a writing part at the bottom. You always forget it. Fix it and send it to me, I'll recheck it. Okay, we need to talk. Okay, so let's review. I always review every day. I want the headphones off. Headphones should be under the desk because we're already late. I need my time, so we do our fast forward time, and then Ms. Moore needs her time. All right, so let's talk. I review every day to make sure everybody understands what it is we're doing. Okay, so let's go back. So this is a big assignment, Katie. We're gonna be doing this for the whole 9 weeks. It's written. We're gonna be working on it for the whole week. I hope that you're learning and you're growing. You can always do more. I want you to do more. I love it when you think of things you can do yourself, okay? But, you know, for people that don't go beyond and do stuff on their own, then I have to give them stuff to do. The people want us to research the history and the culture and the social life at that time. And they want you to investigate some individuals and organizations and events that change things. We investigated Rosa Parks. You guys told me what you felt about it. Some of y'all felt she was right from the very beginning. But I still think you learned some things about her. Like she went shopping and she wasn't old as she thought, as we thought she was. So you still learned some things. And I'm proud of you. Because those were things that my teacher had me grown. I was grown, believing that she was still old. And you're young, and now you know that she wasn't really old. All right? So you're learning some things about your history is what I'm saying. Now we're reading a play called The Raisin in the Sun. I'm hoping you'll like it. I want you to enjoy it. All right? But the thing is, though, that we're doing what the people said, though, Carly. The main goal is y'all have to be learning about how life was back then. All right? So, and we're reading, though. We got to read to find out how life was. I figured they shouldn't have a problem with reading a play because I love it because you get people taking parts. Now, but here's the thing, though. You're still reading, though, for a grade. How do I know you're reading? Because y'all have the biggest problem with reading. Y'all hate reading. Don't get me wrong, I don't pick up books, I do not go library.
Thank you.
All right, but I know how to read. You don't have to always read. I know you don't have time for that. You're about to get into your sports next year. So that's fine. You don't have to always read, but I gotta make sure y'all know how to read. All right, yes. Hurry up. Now, how do I know you know how to read? Because I asked you some questions. If you can answer my questions, and y'all have trouble reading. That's the way I see it, because you can't answer my questions. You can't really remember basic information, like who, what, when, where, how. Don't get mad at me. You can't answer the question. That's not good. Them people not gonna come work with you like me. They're gonna ask you some questions. They're gonna give you a story to read, ask some questions, and that's how they're gonna tell you to read. So you don't have to like reading, but I need to make sure you know how to read. You need to practice your reading. You got to practice remembering basic information. So we're gonna be reading this play. It's very easy. They don't have a lot of words. So what you gonna tell me now? They don't have a lot of big words in there. It's black people, and they talk real ghetto. You think we talk bad? They talk bad back then. So that's one thing you learn about the culture back then. That's where we get it from. All right? So you have to read a play, and for your classwork, you got to tell me everything that went down in the play, everybody's name, everything. We're going to have a test on it. I'm going to be asking you all kind of questions about how we need to know. But you got to know everything like they're your friends. I can't get you reading higher stuff until we can read basic stuff. Can I read a play? It's serious? Now, so to help you, because I know y'all good, I really got to help them, you know. So to help them pay attention to who, what, when, where lyric, I came up with a little strategy. This is just too elementary. But basically, when I read, I find my people. Nobody's not going to write everything that people write. Got to be about somebody. What else they going to talk about? A dog? Mm-hmm. I mean, they could talk, but we could write a story about a dog, but how often is that? I don't want to hear about your dog. Now, you can write a story telling somebody how to clean a dog or how to, but mostly everything people write is going to be about somebody. It could be, it could be about how to plant, how to flower, or something like that, but it's going to be about somebody or something. So the first thing I do is find out who they're talking about. Okay, well, what they did, what the dog did, what the dog did, what the dog did, what the plant did, what the plant did. What you going to do to the plant? What you going to do to the plant? Everything is about people is what I'm trying to tell you. So the thing I always look for, no matter what I read, I look for people. Okay, well, what they did, what they had. All right, how they look, how old they are. I try to find information about the people. That's all I've been trying to teach y'all. So I came up with a name for what you have to do for this play. It's called action, the action strategy. All right, now, but you're not just looking for the action. I'm just reviewing it's on your desk. All right, but we're still having trouble with finding the action. The people that's reading out loud, they don't have time, but the lyrics been turning in all her work. What I do is I put, if you're reading that day, I put read by your name. I put that you read by your name. So I'm not looking for you to turn in work. But of course, the lyric still has to take the test. So she still might want to go and underline some notes tonight, or I'm gonna really go over the answers right now, so she will underline right now. Fine, but she's still been doing her work.
We got the test.
But she doesn't have to, so I put read by her name because she doesn't have to. Jalen, did you read yesterday?
Nope.
No, you didn't come in yesterday, okay. So, if you come in, I'm gonna tell you who I think coming in today. Everybody might be coming in today. The mama might be coming in today.
The mom is.
Bonita, the son and her. Okay, I'm gonna go who everybody is. Everybody, all of the main family might be coming in today. Because we're gonna try to get some stuff done. All right, so let me go over. All right, so let me tell Renisha now what they need to be, because Lynn, I think, was going to play the mama. I know you had asked for it, but you weren't here yesterday.
I want to be the mom.
So let me tell Renisha now, because so she's going to have to take notes, and she was fussing the first day, so I want to make sure she understands.
Always fussing.
I will fuss with
the teacher.
Okay, but just find a way, Miss Morgan, if I get a little bit of, I'm going to know that's what you're trying to do. Because I know that it's not doing it good.
Always fussing.
Okay, shh. All right, so I'm just going over the strategy really quick. So, Bernicia, it doesn't have to, I'm going to tell you this. Really, you only have to write your time and your place at the top of when we first saw that scene. The place not going to change till we get the scene too. Then you can change your scene. But your scene, so some of y'all answers you ain't going to have to keep. The only answers you really have to do is keep doing what they did. You're not doing the talking. They gonna talk the whole play. Don't do the talking. You just doing the stuff they did. And who gonna read the stuff they did? The narrator, me. Honestly, I tell you everything really. So really, I could have left this blank. It's not gonna sound sound good if I say I could shoot. So I needed a narrator, but honestly, the narrator tell you everything. The narrator gonna tell you the time. She gonna tell you how the place look. She gonna tell you who the characters is when they come in. She gonna tell you how they look. The narrator really gonna tell you everything. I could have got rid of that part right there. She gonna tell you, well, she might not tell you what objects. You gonna have to wait till they do stuff to see what objects is important. But the narrator really tell you everything. Okay, so you don't. So as long as you, when once you get this here, you only really need what they doing. Just the most important stuff. So let's go over some notes to make sure you're doing fine. And plus, this gonna help. Who wasn't here yesterday? This gonna help them to study. Okay, so anybody that wasn't here, everybody that was here, pull up your notes and let me tell you what answers you should already have. We not starting on nothing yet. We about to go back to the beginning real quick. Okay, I'm gonna put up Charles' notes and show y'all what grade that I probably gave him.
So we start from the beginning again.
We just no. We just reviewing. Then I'm gonna tell you what page we're on. Right now we just checking our answers. Right now I just want you to check your answers. So look, Charles had all the characters highlighted. Don't do that right now. Okay, if you did this, I'm telling you to take it off, and you're gonna send me your stuff again for the third day. I'm gonna check all your days together.
Yeah.
All right. So you got a chance. If you haven't sent me none of the other days, just send me everything today, and I'm gonna give you 3 grades. All right. Just send it. So I'm gonna give you the answers. Just go back and highlight all the answers, and I'm gonna give you 3 grades, 3 the same grades. All right. So that's what I can do for you. Now, so he tried to do all the characters' names up here. Don't do all of them. Wait till they come in. You heard me, Jada? So look, he would have to right click and show you how he have to do it. He have to right click on it and delete them separately. That he did all of that. Right? So he gonna, cause I don't think you can highlight it again. He gonna have to delete all the stuff he did, cause I don't need their names right now. Now, he should do Chicago, stop eating. So he should have to play Chicago. You don't have to do all this. He was trying to do all this right now. Wait till we come into that scene. Don't do all that right now. All right? Now, scene 1 though, we in the living room. So you should have scene 1 in the living room. Now, how the living room look. All right, I think that's important details that the narrator tell you that you need. Okay, so the living room got furniture in it. Oh, it's an apartment. The house is an apartment. All right. Now, so you got the living room. But he forgetting some stuff. Anytime they have a couch, so in the living room you got a couch. You got tables. You got chairs. You should have that. The couch got covers on it. Now, you might have more stuff than him, but he has to have the basic stuff. Now, if you have more stuff than him, you give more credit than him. But if he had, as long as he had the right stuff, though, I'm gonna still give him his points. Okay, so now you got the color. Now he's still. He got to tell me the rest of the stuff. So you got a kitchen. All right, and look like the kitchen got a little dining room area, and they got one little window for the whole of the area. It must be really dark in there. You can tell. They don't have the word dark, so you can't do that. All right, where you can say light, natural light, you could do if you want to. So you would have more stuff than Charles. You get more points than Charles. So what are you doing right now? You're telling me how to place them. You can't just stay in the living room. If you can tell me how the place look, fine. Oh, that's even better. You can't just tell me the character name. If you can describe to me how the character look, that's even better. You get more points. Y'all look for details when y'all read. I keep trying to tell you this. Okay, now, so let me finish describing how the room looks. So by the time we're done, you gotta know everything, how the house looks, everything. So you got a bedroom to the left. Who share that bedroom? We studying our notes. We making sure like Mom and Benita. So this other boy, he had highlighted to the left, and he did he highlighted the word left too, because he wanted to remember that to the left, and that's for Mama and Benita. But see how that's about the side is acting up. Let me go Control Z. So just try to get this part right here, and I know that it's for Mama and Benita. He couldn't get Mama because it's on that side. Yeah, Benicia said you can probably do by. And Ms. Logan knew you was trying to get on that side. I know all the sides not working for some reason.
Just do share.
Don't worry about it. Okay, she said just do share. And I love the way now she's figuring out a way to do stuff. She was fussing at me. And look, Benicia, sometimes you could go back and try going back. It's really acting up for me.
Look at that girl getting smart.
I did the S.
All right, she said she just got the S. Let me see what I just said. Bam, there you go. Ms. Moore know what you're trying to do. Because I know them sides just not really working. But I love the way now she's finding something else. So anyway, you got a bedroom to the left. That's for Mom and Benita. Then you're going to have a room to the right. And that's going to be for Ruth and her husband. And then we found out later that the bedroom was outside. We're going to get that later. Ruth and her husband. Walter. Yeah, because they right here at the right, they got a second room. Not you probably was looking at parentheses. It used to be, in the beginning of the apartment, it was the breakfast room. So she's right though. So look, they have a room to the left, that's my Bonita. You know, this is a living room, you know, this is a kitchen and dining room, and they have a room to that right that used to be a breakfast room where you could eat your breakfast at, but that's for Walter and his wife. No, Ruth not mama. Ruth is Bonita. Lena is the mama. Lena is the mama. Alright? Okay, let me get rid of that. Alright, I gotta get my hand tool back. Wait, hold on. Need my hand tool back. Okay, so we already got Chicago. You don't have to keep doing Chicago. You ain't gotta keep doing the same notes. Okay, so we're in the living room. You don't have to keep saying it though. It's morning. They never did say that, so you can say it's morning time. I think later on she's gonna say it was 7 o'clock when she was talking. But you don't have to do the talking. But if she said time and place and all that in the talking, you can do that. Alright? So anyway, you should have that root answers. That's the first thing that she did was she entered. So you should have root answers. Did you get that? Yeah. You should have. If you didn't get that, go back and get it. You should have root answers. Now, let's study our notes and see if you took good notes the first day we read it. Okay, so root answers, what's the first thing that happened? She reaches down and shakes her son. If you took good notes, your notes should tell a story. So she answered, then she reached down and shook her son. Then what happened next? You don't have to do she filled a pot. You could have did she called the boy Travis. You could have did that, she called the boy. Now, we had to stop talking about what she was doing and tell you how she looked. So he should have had root as 30. He could have did the whole thing 30. I don't know why he stopped. He should have been able to get she is 30, huh, y'all? Uh-huh. All right, so you want to do that whole thing because that's important. She pretty. You should have got that some and drop him down some because if he don't have the most important stuff.
Disappointed.
You can do disappointment, but if you don't have that, I'm not that she's disappointed. That is good to know. So you're gonna know more than him. But if he didn't do it, I'm not gonna take off from his. So because he did exactly what I told him, which was describe how she looked. If they tell you where she worked at. So he did my part, but if you do more than my part, I'm not gonna drop his down a little. Well, she's not 35. You just said she's 30. They said before she gets to be 35, she's gonna be that's not really what we need. She's gonna be settled by the time she gets to 35, but that's not really important though. So to me, he didn't really need this right here. I'm not gonna take off because we put it. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see it. Okay? Alright, let me get my hand tool back so I can move it. Do you see what I'm saying? Basically, you taking notes, Krishan, and I might let y'all use your notes for the test. Basically, what you're doing is you making us up a story. That's what I do when I read. I was trying to tell y'all to make a story. I find my person, what they did. 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 The whole story. I find out what time it was, the place it was, and then I'll keep with the person, what they did.
You put 7:30.
Okay, here we got 7:30. So you don't have to do the talking. Now you gotta do the narrator part. If she says how they look, what time it is, all that. So that's why you could do 7:30. Okay, so then you should have Travis is handsome. He's about 10 or 11. You don't need all of that. Nah, but then you might need some of that because when he got his clothes from the drawer, you might want that part though. He's take his clothes from the drawer and he went to the bedroom outside. And that's what we found out the bedroom is in the outside hall. Do you see your notes? It's like you study your notes. Who, what, when, where, or how.
She calls.
Okay, now so they did, okay, so don't forget what she did because we had to stop her a little bit and see how she looked. So she had, don't forget the last thing, she called the little boy. He got up, where she started calling him right here. Oh, he sits up. So she called the little boy and then he sat up. Okay, yeah, we should have had he sits up. Then he go take his clothes out and went to the bedroom. Now, so while he was taking his clothes and going to the bathroom, what she was doing now? Let's go back to her. What she was doing? She went call her husband. You should have put Ruth crossed the bed door. She crossed to the bedroom door at the right, and she calls into her husband. You should have said she called her husband now. So you told me she woke up the son. Then you got to tell me the next thing that happened. She called her husband. Gonzalo, get up. He's after 7:30, so you should have told me. Don't tell me what she said. You tell me what she did. She called him. That's what you tell me. All I need you is tell me. If you tell me everything she said, it's gonna be all kind of notes. So just tell me what she did. She called her husband. All right. You don't have to tell me what they said. All right. After she called him, what happened? She waited. You can do she waited. That wasn't all that important to me. Then what happened? Well, nothing happened. They had stopped and told us how he looked. So now we got to do how he looked. Well, how does he look? Now you're gonna skip to how they look, so you're gonna be doing everything at one time. People, places, where you're gonna be doing everything at one time. How he look, please? He lean like lean meat. Lean meat is not fat. He not fat. He in his middle 30s. I'm not sure, they didn't say exactly how 30, so she 30, she 30 even. Not sure, he in his middle 30s, so he in the middle of 30, 35, 34, 35. And he nervous.
And something wrong with his speech.
And something wrong with his speech. I couldn't really understand what that meant, but something wrong with his speech.
So like
He might have a stuttering problem. So I like how Lyric is not doing, she's not highlighting words she does not know. I don't want you just highlighting a bunch of words. I want you highlighting little bitty things that you know you're gonna make up a story. But I bet you're gonna be pretty much writing past that test with a B, a C, B. Y'all very small, but if you do my little advice, you're gonna get more details, more information about the person and why they wrote most of it became what they were talking about. Yes, ma'am. Okay. But just relax. It's gonna be so much. So what I do is I pretend I know the people, and I remember. That helps me to remember everything that went down. I try to imagine them, and I try to imagine I know them and everything that went down. So she called her husband. All right, what happened after she called her husband? Let's go back to what happened. Now, who said what happened? Look, me. So you ain't gotta be looking at everything they say. You should be looking at my pulse, the narrative. So after she called her husband, what happened next? Well, he came out, I guess, where we could put, let me see, if you want, he come out the room, and they started talking, basically. I was just trying to find it, though, so that we can have it. Yeah, her husband stands in the doorway, you want that? You don't have to put it, though.
I put it, and
so
I just deleted
that's
it.
fine, so he came outside, they started talking. Well, you know what, you can put wandering in, he coming in. Right there, you put it right there, he came in. All right, them two started talking. All right, I'm trying to see if we need what they're talking about. Y'all want what they're talking about?
It's up to you.
What y'all got? Y'all got what they're talking about?
I put stop and thinking. Then I went down to Rooster.
Oh, we got it Friday. Yeah, Chelsea found a date. They was really talking. What's the main thing they was talking about? The check. So if you want to do something, if you want to tell me what they was talking about, just do the check coming. Right there it is, right there. If you could get on that end, check coming. So we really talking about the check. And it was kind of talking about his friends and stuff. To me, this wasn't important right here. He was reading the newspaper if you want to. So yeah, you could do she scrambled eggs. He was reading the newspaper. I like that. Yeah, you could do. He was looking at his watch. I like the part that he went and found a cigarette in her handbag. So to me, that tells you that back in those days that he smoked. Yeah, he smoked. But also tell you that men go in. Yeah, she must smoke too. I like that because why is it in her handbag? And then it also tells me that men back then went in women's bags. He better not go in my bag. I don't let my man go in my bag. So, so back in those days, you know what I'm saying? That was not disrespect back in those days. But back in those days, let a dude come go in your bag. What you gonna do? Well, you better bag up. I don't let him go in my bag. Even if I don't have to have nothing in it. I ain't doing nothing, I don't have nothing in it, but still don't go in my bag. Alright? So I found this interesting. So what I'm saying is, if they do stuff that you find interesting, you highlight that. That tells me you're paying attention to stuff. Highlight what's back there. You see it there? It's on
Right
top.
on top of
489, and then it's gonna say, they have two different numbers. It's gonna say on page 4 at the top, but down here say, because I think they got this from out the real book. And so that's why it's gonna say 489. I think they got it out of a bigger book, something like that. Okay, so he went and found a cigarette in her bag. He was smoking. Which I want happen next.
Smoke.
You do he look out the window if you want that. I like that. He turned and faced his wife, yeah. To me, I consider they love each other, Carly. They fuss a lot early in the morning, but you still consider they love each other. To me, it is too early for that, but still he turned and faced his wife. And he playful. He played too much. Because he was saying, well, you look young this morning, baby. And he said, to me, he played too much. So I'm learning about him. All right. He got problems like these men.
Travel up here.
Oh, so she said Travis came back. So we really gotta keep up with everybody. So she said Travis appears and Travis come back. Fully dressed fine. Just Travis appears. We take a look at the rest of their needs. Travis come back. The dad Walter gets his stuff in the bathroom. You can do that. Walter goes to the bathroom. Now it's Travis and his mama. All right, and tell me where we stopped. I know y'all don't know because y'all don't have no, y'all not gonna, you don't know where we stopped at because you don't have nothing else highlighted. So the rest of the people should be checking their stuff until we get finished. So every day we're gonna review what they should have. Okay, so Walter got his stuff into the bathroom, so it's just Travis and Mama. To me, they wasn't really doing nothing. They was talking about the money. So if you want to just do the check coming, you don't have to do that again. You don't have to do Friday again. If you want to just do 50 cents, you can do 50 cents to remind you what they was talking about. Okay. Oh, I like that the boy gave her a look. I like that. That's something he did that tells me that children back then they did look at your mama funny, but they didn't tell your mama nothing. So some of us still do that too. Mama say do something, we'll just look at her. Yeah, and she'll be like, don't look at me like that. But we don't tell her something. But some people talk back to their mamas now these days. Yeah. So listen to me. If what they did tells you something, you highlight what they did, but you don't have to highlight everything they did if it's sensational, if it don't make them much bigger of a difference. Oh, I did Travis Willard Younger. Because that tells me his whole name. If you don't have to do it if it's not important to you, but I like, in case on the test they won't ask me what's his whole name or whatever, I did Travis Willard Younger. The boy hushes. So he did listen to his mama. You know, he hushed up. He did give a look. So children gonna try you, but then he hushed up. So I like that part. That's why so you don't have to do everything they do. Okay, so then, let me see, he asked about carrying groceries, if you want to do that. So he made his bed. You could do that. I like that part. Oh, but then he jabbed that boat, that swim into the boat. He a little spoil rider too now. So they got him a little spoil rider too. He went, cause now he testing his mom already, so he testing just like all kids do. But then she said he went folded his bed, and looked like he didn't really do a good job, huh, Carly? He went listen, but he more or less folded the bed into a little heat. He was angry. He didn't really do it right to me like most kids today. If that's not important to you, you don't have to highlight that. But the more good stuff you highlight, that's the stuff I'll be like, oh yeah, she could tell that he was kind of, So that tells me that you understood more, that you was paying attention more. Ruth, if you want to do that, she was checking his hair, you could. What else y'all got? Oh, she gave him money, huh?
No, she didn't get money.
For the car fare and milk money. I'm like this, so how y'all that broke though? You gonna give him money to catch a car to get a car?
Money.
Oh, she didn't get money. The daddy got money.
His daddy gave him the money.
Ruth said gave the car fare and before the daddy, and she said don't use it for no cash or something, but she did give him money. She did give him money. Right, so I'm like this. Y'all was broke back then, but y'all had money though. You know how your mom and them always saying they broke and all that? But were our people really broke though?
No, they be lying.
So yeah, y'all don't have everything, but y'all have some stuff. How you gonna give him money to go catch a car? You better walk. I thought they walk. Okay, so that made me think about how life was back then. If they do stuff that make you think, that's the stuff you highlight. Okay, so anyway, let me see what happened next, what I want next.
Gentle tease.
She was teasing him, you could do that, she was teasing him, like any mama would. He rolled his eyes at her, I thought that was interesting. And then she embraced him down here, I think she embraced him down here. So notes should tell a story. Without you having to look back at the whole thing, your notes gonna be a story. So, okay, so then, I'm trying to see where the daddy came in. You go skip, Walter came in front of that, don't do that, not a daddy bag.
All time.
Right here is on page 7, in the middle, you gotta keep up with us, keep moving your paper. So Walter came in from the bedroom, and he was drawing a little gun. Like he was shooting at his son. Okay, that might not really be important, so you could just put he was coming from the bedroom. Well, it is because that show he played with his son. Okay, he reached down in his pants pocket, Jada, right here at the bottom of 7. He reached down in his pants pocket and then he hands the boy a coin. He gave him some money. Travis takes the money, and yeah, you could do that. His eyes was directed at his wife. You could do that if you want. Okay, he starts to Travis. I think Travis started to leave. Ruth was watching, both of them were murder in her eyes, so she was, you know how she must. But you don't have to put all that if you don't want to. Yeah, and then Walter gave him another 50 cents. You could do that way and say, oh, right here, Jada. Wait, hold on, let me find it for Jada.
About Walter.
Walter reaches in his pocket again and gave him another 50 cents. He had said it, so that's how we know. But you could just do what he did. He reached into his pocket again. And then the little boy leaped up and down. He leaped up and down. He was happy. And then the little boy left. Let's do Travis. And he exited. All right, so the little boy about to go. I know he's telling you a lie. You got to go home and study your notes. Every night you want to study your notes. So when you take notes on a test, you got to read them and study them. All right? Okay. What page we stopped on? What page at the top we on? What page y'all highlighted stop on?
498, I believe.
498, let me see.
Yeah, 'cause that's when the mama came.
Okay, well, we on the mama came in. Okay, it's not good. Okay, let me hurry with the notes then, because we can take too long with the notes. What y'all got next?
Huh?
So that y'all got that they was okay, they was talking about Bobo now. She told her that y'all saw he ignoring her.
Yeah.
He ignoring her. No, that was him ignoring her.
Because when she was cooking, he kept.
Oh yeah, she did say leave me alone or whatever like that. I'm trying. Okay, let's go off. We could do our notes. Oh, y'all saw he talking about the store. Did y'all get that? He talking about the store.
Yeah.
On page 9, he want to do a store. What kind of store? He want to do a liquor store. And what he want her to do with it though? What he want Ruth to do with the liquor store though? Looks like he wants some money for it. Oh, where they get that money from? Where they get that money
Check.
from? Okay, the daddy died. They got it. So y'all doing great. So y'all didn't answer all my questions. I'm trying to find the notes for him. So he want to do a store. I'm trying to see what the hurry up she feel. So we can get started. Yeah, it's 75,000. How y'all bro self gonna get that? But anyway, let me keep going.
When they told y'all how much money on the check?
It was by page 9. Oh no, they ain't say how much. Kevin, stop! I'm trying to hurry up. They ain't say how much the money they was getting for. But the store they say it's 75. I don't know how much yet. Hold on, shh, Jada. All right, yeah, Chelsea. They ain't tell us how much they did yet, but it must be some big money if you open up a whole doggone store with it. Y'all saw he slammed that table, Chelsea, on page 10 at the top. He slammed the table and she jumped up, so he got bad nerves. So Jada, please be quiet so I can hurry up, baby. So he has bad nerves. I'm trying to see what else. She ironing. Oh, Bonita answers. Okay, Bonita came in yesterday. Oh, we gotta tell Jada how she looks. So Jade, all right, hold on. Okay, you was here with that?
No,
Okay, ready? Okay, all right, very good, baby. Cause you're gonna be behind too. So Bonita, let's make sure Jada has knows Bonita. She about 20. She slim too. She not as pretty as her sister-in-law. This the lady telling you that, not me. She intellectual. Look like she intellectual. She's slim. They say she's slim right there. You could just do slim if you could get that side. I'm trying to see what else they say. She had on a little flannel nightie. Her hair thick.
Her speech was mixed.
Look, her speech is mixed. Look like she got education. Oh yeah, they did say she in school, huh?
Yeah.
What she in school for?
Doctor.
Nursing.
To be a doctor.
Be a doctor.
I think it's nursing. I'm gonna told her. Yeah, I don't know why. What difference it make? It's gonna go.
He said, why you want
What difference is it gonna make though?
Just be a nurse.
What difference? A doctor, nurse, same thing. What's
Because
different?
when a doctor is higher than the nurse though, so that if she's trying to go to a highest level and he wanted to be regular like a nurse, why she just can't be a regular nurse instead of being a doctor?
Gotcha. Okay, gotcha. All right, so I'm trying to remember what else was important with her. They go to doctor thing, and then that's where we found out that the check the check coming tomorrow. Actually, and today is what? What today is?
Friday.
Friday. The check coming tomorrow.
Saturday.
And the check coming tomorrow, and that's where we found out that it's the daddy. I'm trying to see where it was at.
Insurance money.
The daddy insurance money.
It was on page.
What she said, that's mama money.
Okay, all right. So let's go to 13. Then everybody, the mom about to come in. Everybody know their part. Okay, so then you want to know you want Bernice to say it. All right, they ain't gonna do it, huh?
Why did you say she wanted to be a doctor?
Hold on. Let me get it for you, y'all. The doctor. You see it, baby? Right here, right on 12.
You gonna read the narrative?
Yeah, I'll read the narrative part. Okay. All right. So let me describe how mama looks to you by y'all highlighting.
Okay.
Okay. So Walter exited because and remember he had came back and got some money for Ruth. And that was another thing. Ruth handles the money. That's why I wanted to tell you too. I might want, she goes in her bag and gets the money, because he came back and asked her for 50 cents. Now you just gave Travis, but she didn't give Travis 50 cents.
She give him a
She
quarter.
gave somebody for the
Yeah,
car.
yeah,
Yeah.
And a
So rude, but what that tells me though about back then, that's where the woman get that handled and that money from. Even when the men work now, who handles the money? Your mom and them. That's where they get that from back in the days. So we're learning how life was back in the days. We're on page 13 at the top. Look, it's gonna have 13 at the top. Oh, I don't know where you I think this came from out, whoever took this picture, it came from out of a book.
Yeah, it's 498 off.
It's 498 or 13. Okay, you ready? Okay, so Walter exits, the mama answers. She is a woman in her early 60s, full body and strong. She is one of these women of a certain grace and beauty who wears so unobtrusive that it takes a while to notice. Her dark brown face is surrounded by the total whiteness of her hair. And being a woman who has adjusted to many things in life and overcome it and more, her face is full of strength. She has, we can see, wit and faith of a kind that keep her eyes lit and full of like interest and expectancy. She is, in a word, a beautiful woman. Her bearing is perhaps most like the noble bearings of the women of the heroes of Southwest Africa. Rather, as if she imagines that as she walks, she still bears a basket or a vessel upon her head. Her speech, on the other hand, is as careless as her carriage is precise. She is inclined to slur everything, but her voice is perhaps not so much quiet and soft and simple as so. And action.
Who there around here slamming doors at this hour?
She crosses through the room, goes to the window, opens it, and brings in a feeble little plant growing dodgily in a small pot on the windowsill. She fills the dirt and puts it back out.
that was Walter Lee. He and Benny was at it again.
My children and their tempers. Lord, if this little old plant don't get more sun than it ain't never going to see spring again.
She turns from the window.
What's the matter with you this morning, Ruth? You look right peaked. You aiming to iron all them things? Leave some for me. I'll get to them this afternoon. Benny, honey, it's too drafty for you to be sitting around half dressed. Where's your robe?
In the cleaners.
Well, go get mine and put it on.
I'm not cold, Mama, honest.
I know, but you so thin.
Mama, I'm not cold.
Mama saying that bed Travis has left.
Lord have mercy, look at that poor babe. Bless his heart. He tries, doesn't he?
She moves to the bed, go.
No, he don't have try at all, cause he knows you going to come along behind him and fix everything. That's just how it comes. He don't know how to do nothing right now. You done spoiled that boy, so.
Mama folding the bed.
Well, he's a little boy. Ain't supposed to know about housekeeping. My baby, that's what he is. What you fix for his breakfast this morning?
I fed my son, Nina.
I ain't meddling.
Under her breath.
I just noticed all last week he had cold cereal, and when it starts getting this chilly in the fall, a child ought to have some hot grits or something when he goes out in the cold.
I gave him hot oats. Is that all right?
I ain't meddling.
Keep going.
Put a lot of nice butter on it.
Ruth shoots her an angry look and does not reply.
He likes lots of butter.
Nina.
Nah, Mama. Now you're talking to Benita.
Oh, what was you and your brother fussing about this morning?
It's not important, Mama.
So she gets up and goes to look out to the bedroom, which is apparently free, and she picks up her towels and rushes out. Mama.
What was they fighting about?
Now you know as well as I do.
Brother still worrying himself sick about that money?
You know he is.
You had breakfast?
Some coffee.
Girl, you better start eating and looking after yourself better. You almost thin as Travis.
Nina.
Uh-huh.
What are you going to do with it?
Now don't start, child. It's too early in the morning to be talking about money. It ain't Christian.
It's just that he got his heart set out on that store.
You mean that liquor store that Willie Harris want him to invest in?
Yes.
We ain't no business people. We just plain working folks.
Ain't nobody business who could tell they go into business. Walter Reed say colored people ain't never going to start getting ahead till they start gambling on some different kinds of things that were investments in things.
What done got into you, girl? Walter Reed done finally sold you on investing.
No, Mama. Something is happening between Walter and me. I don't know what it is, but he needs something. Something I can't give him anymore. He needs his chance.
A liquor, honey?
Well, like Walter said, I expect people going to always be drinking themselves to liquor.
Well, whether they drink it or not ain't none of my business. But what I go into business selling it to him is, and I don't want that on my ledger that this late in life.
Now you stopping suddenly and studying your daughter-in-law?
Ruth Younger, what's the matter with you today? You look like you could fall over right there.
I'm tired.
Then you better stay home from work today.
I can't stay home. You calling off the agency and screaming at them. My girl didn't come in today. Send me somebody. My girl didn't come in. Oh, she just had a fit.
Well, let her have it. I'll just call her up and say you got the flu.
Why the flu?
Because it sounds respectable to them. Something white people get too. They know about the flu. Otherwise, they think you've been cut up or something when you tell them you're sick.
I got to go in. We need some money.
Somebody would have thought my children done all but starved to death the way they talk about money here lately. Child, we got a big old check coming tomorrow.
Now that's your money. It ain't nothing to do with me. We all feel like that. Walter and Benny and me. Even Travis.
Keep going, Mama.
$10,000?
Sure, it's wonderful.
$10,000.
You know what you should do, Ms. Nina? You should take yourself a trip somewhere, Europe or South America or something.
Oh, child.
I'm serious. Just pack up and leave. Go on away and enjoy yourself some. Forget about the family and have yourself a ball for once in your life.
You sound like I'm just about ready to die. Who'll go with me? What I look like wandering around Europe by myself?
Shoot, these here rich white women do it all the time. They don't think nothing of packing up their suitcase and calling on one of them big steamships and swoops. They don't. Child.
Something always told me I wasn't no rich white woman.
Well, what are you going to do with it then?
I ain't rightly decided.
She thinking. Go.
Some of it got to be put away from Benita and her schooling, and ain't nothing going to touch that part of it. Nothing.
She waits several seconds trying to make up her mind about something.
Been thinking that we maybe could meet the notes on a little old two-story somewhere with a yard where Travis could play in the summertime. If we use part of the insurance for a down payment, everybody kind of pitch in. I could maybe take on a little day work again, a few days a week.
Ruth studying her mother-in-law.
Well, Lord knows we put enough rent into this here rat trap to pay for 4 houses right now.
Mama looking up.
Rat trap, yes, that's all it is. I remember just as well the day me and Big Walter moved in here. Hadn't been married but 2 weeks and wasn't planning on living here no more than a year.
She shakes her head.
We was going to set away little by little, don't you know, and buy a little place out in Morgan Park. We had even picked out the house. Looks right, don't it, to them? But Lord, child, you should know all the dreams I had about buying that house and fixing it up and making me a little garden in the back. And then none of it happened.
Ruth.
Yes, life can be a barrel of disappointment sometimes.
Honey, Big Walter would come in here some nights back then and slump down on that couch there and just look at the rug and look at me and look at the rug and then back at me. And I know he was down then, really down.
Keep going.
And then, Lord, when I lost that baby, little Claude, I almost thought I was going to lose Big Walter too. Oh, that man grieved himself. He was one man to love his children.
And nothing can tear it you like me and your baby.
I guess that's how come that man finally worked himself to death like he done. Like he was fighting his own war with this here world that took his baby from him.
He sure was a fine man, all right. I always liked Mr. Younger.
Crazy about his children. God knows there was plenty wrong with Walter Younger. Hard-headed, mean, kind of wild with women, plenty wrong with him. But he sure loved his children. Always wanted them to have something, be something. That's where brother gets all these notions, I reckon. Big Walter used to say he'd get right wet in the eyes sometimes, lean his head back with the water standing in his eyes and say, seemed like God didn't see fit to give the black man nothing but dreams, but he did give us children to make them dreams seem worthwhile. He could talk like them, don't you know?
Yes, he sure could. He was a good man, Mr. Younger.
Yes, a fine man, just couldn't never catch up with his dreams, that's all.
Benita comes in, brushing her hair and looking up at the ceiling where the sound of a vacuum cleaner has started up.
What could be so dirty on that woman's rugs that she has to vacuum them every single day?
I wish certain young women around here who I could name would take inspiration about certain rugs in a certain apartment I could also mention.
How much cleaning can a house need for Christ's sakes?
Benny,
Just listen to her. Just listen.
Oh, God.
if you use the Lord's name just one more time,
Oh, Mama.
Fresh, just fresh as salt this girl.
But if the salt loses its
Savor.
now that would do. I just ain't going to have you around here reciting the scriptures in vain. You hear me?
how did I manage to get on everybody's wrong side by just walking into a room?
If you wasn't so fresh.
Rude. I'm 20 years old.
What time you be home from school today?
Kind of late. Madeline is going to start my guitar lessons today.
Your what kind of lessons?
Guitar.
Oh, Father.
How come you done taken it in your mind to learn to play the guitar?
I just want to, that's all.
Lord, child, don't you know what to get tired of this now? Like you got tired of that little do with yourself? How long is it going to be before you play acting group you joined last year? And what was it the year before that?
The horseback riding club from which she bought that $55 riding habit that's been hanging in the closet ever since.
Why you got to flip so from one
It's all
thing
real
to
bad, you
another?
doing great though. Bonita?
Yeah,
I
they
just
talk
want to
terrible.
learn to play the guitar. Is there anything wrong with that?
Ain't nobody trying to stop you. I just wonder sometimes why you has to flip so from one thing to another all the time. You ain't never done nothing with all that camera equipment you brought home.
I don't play. I experience the different forms of expression.
Like riding a horse.
People have to express themselves one way or another.
What is it you want to express?
Me.
Mom and Ruth look at each other and burst into laughter.
Don't worry. I don't expect you to understand.
Mama trying to change the subject.
Who you going out with tomorrow night?
George
Murchison.
Murchison again.
Oh, you getting a little sweet on him?
You ain't me, this child ain't sweet on nobody but herself.
Express herself, so they laugh.
Oh, I like George, all right, Mama. I mean, I like him enough to go out with him and stuff, but
What does and stuff mean?
my own business.
Stop picking at her now, Ruth.
Mama chuckles.
What does it mean?
Oh, I just mean I couldn't ever really be serious about George. He's so shallow.
Shallow? What do you mean he's shallow? He's rich.
Hush, Ruth.
I know he's rich. I know he's rich too.
He knows.
Well, what other qualities a man got to have to satisfy you, the girl?
You wouldn't even begin to understand. Anybody who married Walter could not possibly understand.
What kind of way is that to talk about your brother?
Brother is a flip. Let's face it.
What's up?
She's saying he's crazy.
Brother isn't really crazy yet. He's in
Elaborate and new ride. You know she's educated, so she's a bit worried.
Hush your mouth.
As for George, well, George looks good. He's got a beautiful car and he takes me to nice places. And as my sister-in-law says, he is probably the richest boy I will ever get to know. And I even like him sometimes. But if the younger are sitting around waiting to see if their little Benny is going to tie up the family with the Murchisons, they are wasting their time.
You mean you wouldn't marry George Richardson if he asked you someday that pretty rich thing? Honey, I know he was odd.
No, I would not marry him if all I felt for him was what I feel now. Besides, George family wouldn't really like it.
Why not?
Oh, Mama, the Murchisons are honest to God, real life rich colored people. And the only people in the world who are more
Snobbish.
than rich white people are rich colored people. I thought everybody knew that. I met Mrs. Murchison. She's a senior.
You must not dislike people because they well off, honey.
Well, not. It makes just as much sense as disliking people because they are poor and lots of people do it.
Well, she'll get over some of this.
Get over it. What are you talking about? Listen, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm not worried about who I'm going to marry yet, if I ever get married.
Ew. Now,
Yeah.
Penny.
Oh, I probably will, but first I'm going to be a doctor. George, for one, still thinks that's pretty funny. I couldn't be bothered with that. I am going to be a doctor, and everybody around here better understand me.
Of course you're going to be a doctor, honey. God willing.
God hasn't got a thing to do with it.
Benita, that just wasn't necessary.
Well, neither is God. I get sick of hearing about God.
Benita,
I mean it. I'm just tired of hearing about God all the time. What does he got to do with anything? Does he pay attention?
You about to get your fresh little jaw slapped.
That's what she needs, all right.
Why can't I see what I want to around here like everybody else?
It don't sound nice for a young girl to say things like that. You wasn't brought up that way. Me and your father went to trouble to get you and your brother to church every Sunday.
Mama, you don't understand. It's all a matter of ideas, and God is just one idea I don't accept. It's not important. I am not going out and getting water or
Commit crime.
Commit crimes because I don't believe in God. I don't even think about it. It's just that I get tired of him getting credit for all the things that
The human race.
achieves.
She's doing great, thank you. Through its own stubborn effort.
There is simply
We almost finished, no blessed to
There's
go.
no blessed God. There is another man, and it is who makes miracles.
Mama absorbs this speech, studies her daughter, and rises slowly and crosses to beneath and slaps her powerfully across the face. After there is only silence and the daughter drops from her eyes from her mother's face, and Mama is very tall before her. Mama,
Now, you say after me, in my mother's house, wait,
you're doing good.
no, something popped up. There is still God.
There is a long pause, and Benita stares at the floor wordlessly. Then Mama repeats the phrase.
In my mother's house, there is still God.
Benita.
In my mother's house, there is still God.
There's a long pause. Mama's walking away from her. Go, Mama.
There are some ideas we ain't going to have in this house. Not as long as I'm at the head of this family.
Yes, ma'am.
Mama walks out the room. Ruth.
You think you a woman, Benny, but you still love her. What you did was childish, so you got treated like a child.
I see. I also see that everybody thinks it's all right for Mama to be a
Tyrant.
For all the
Tyranny. Yeah, tyranny.
Tyranny in the world will never put a God in the heaven.
She picks up her books and goes out. Ruth, go to Mama door.
She said she was sorry.
Mama coming out.
They frightens me, Ruth. My children.
You got good children, Nina. They just a little off sometimes, but they're good.
No, there's something come down between me and them that don't let us understand each other, and I don't know what it is. One done almost lost his mind, think about money all the time, and the other one done commenced to talk about things I can't seem to understand in no form or fashion. What is it that's changing, Ruth?
Nah, you taking it all too serious. You just got strong-willed children, and it takes a strong woman like you to keep them in hand.
Mama looking at her plan.
They spirited all right, my children. That's what I mean, they spirit, Benny and Walter. Like this little old plant that ain't never had no sunshine or nothing to look at.
She has her back to Ruth, who has to stop ironing and lean against something and put her back to her hand to her forehead. Ruth trying to keep Mama from noticing.
You sure love that little old thing, don't you?
Well, I always wanted me a garden like I used to see sometimes at the back of the houses down home. This one is close as I ever got to having one.
Mama looks out the window.
Lord, ain't nothing as dreary as the view from this window on a dreary day, is there? Why ain't you singing this morning, Ruth? Sing that No Way Is Tired. That song always lifts me up.
She turns at last to see that Ruth has slipped quietly to the floor in a state of semi-consciousness.
Ruth, honey, what's the matter with you? Ruth!
And that's the end of the scene. Tomorrow we'll start scene 2. So y'all might want to get that Ruth just slipped to the floor.
Oh, she fell.
She passed out.
She passed out, look like she
She
unconscious.
did.
Boy!
All right, you might want to check over your notes before you send them to me tonight. When you press save, so you can save all those great highlights you have. Don't want to lose all that great highlighting. Fix the little part we read today, and you can send it to me tonight.
Oh, I got my yesterday notes on it too.
All right, I'm really just gonna check tonight and give you 3 grades. That's how I'm gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna just check so you have everybody on a chance. We should fix all 3 days. Is what I'm trying to say. All right, send me your stuff there.
Not girl. I just like pink.
I like pink too.
Not bad.
Hot pink and lavender.
That's the only thing I like. Hot pink. That's the only thing I like.
I don't like that pink right there.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. This is good.
All right, let me give you grades today. That was the and great reading. Thank y'all so much. I don't know if y'all don't turn y'all in. That's fine.
I read today too.
Don't play.
I'm gonna stay at school today.
For baseball?
I'm not on the team. I can't play the first game. I missed the first two practices. I missed the first two practices though. I bet he gonna make me do something. I bet he gonna make me do something.
People came yesterday.
I missed two. You a starting pitcher. Hey, my friend's a starter or something.
Starting pitcher.
JV?
There is no JV.
Oh, no, I thought JV baseball. Then I don't start.
God,
That must be not starting.
gotta punch people complete.
I must
Like
be
his
on the pitch.
cousin?
I want to be the dude.
His cousin came through.
Let's say strike one.
The umpire?
Yup.
You can't be the umpire.
Why not?
That's the rep.
Why the hell not? I want to be a ref then.
So Kendrick is.
Catch a come play baseball. We got enough people.
More than we need.
For real?
How many times do you be on the field? 4.
And me too.
Jalen, wait also rushing to.
9 people could be on the field. And I play pitcher, shortstop, and second.
Yeah.
You and Timothy the only two. You, Timothy, and Trayvon the only two people that got experience.
But Darius.
It was there. And people that played last year.
I played since I was 4.
That's how I know. You ain't play softball. You don't got a little T thing you to hit it off.
I played T-ball, coaches pitch, and fast pitch.
And you want to do with the bat, huh?
Well, I got hit with that ball.
You remember you told me that story. Exactly. The coach caught you before you got to hit him.
See you next block.
One must be dirty.